This is Hilton Samuel of God Once You're Married, and I am responding to a question that someone sent in to me via email. Sometimes I get them via email, text mail, WhatsApp, but this one is an email series of questions. The first question has to do with interfaith relationship. I've hidden the person's details to maintain her privacy. All right. Is it wrong to have a courting dating relationship with someone of a different faith to yours? Is that, or is this in the Bible? Well, I'm going to make some assumptions here. I think that when you're talking about different faith, I'm assuming that you're talking about different religion or denominations within the Christian faith. So within the Christian arena, the Christian religion, we have Catholics, we have Baptists, we have um, um, Adventists, we have Pentecostals, we have Baptists, and I'm assuming that you're talking about relationships between one of one denomination and another within the Christian context. Because if you're speaking about different faith, as in terms of um, uh, Islam versus Hindu or Hindu versus Christianity, now that we need to base our answer primarily on what Paul said, which is it is we should not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. And by unbeliever, I think that Paul was primarily maintaining or thinking about a person who doesn't believe in God or doesn't believe in the God that he believed in. So, having clarified that, I want to address interfaith relationships. Now, while it is not wrong, it is going to be very challenging for people with markedly different doctrinal views to relate to each other in a close-knit relationship such as a marriage, particularly if they have a very strong belief. So for a Catholic and a Protestant to get together in a marriage, it can work, but it will be very challenging because our beliefs, our religious beliefs, color how we behave and how we act and how we respond. And, with such marked differences in the doctrines of Catholicism and Protestantism, the making it work is going to be extremely challenging, So, you need to be very much aware of that if you're going into that kind of relationship. But not only that, it has an impact on your children, where they're going to go, which faith are they going to be brought up in. And if you believe that the many of the Catholic doctrines or systems of worship are not right and are not biblical, then it would be very difficult for you to teach that kind of a thing to the child of a Catholic. And I know of a situation like this where it is bitter because of one lady who was truly born again Christian, who is in a committed relationship with a devout Catholic. The Catholic insists that the children must go to Mass and, must be involved in the ceremonies that Mass, that the Catholic Church offers. They must be baptized and christened the Catholic way. Whereas she, on the other hand, don't believe in that and believe that they should really obey the gospel of Jesus Christ as she understands and knows that. And that causes a lot of conflict within their marriage and even with the children. So, the children go sometimes to her church and go sometimes to the dad church, which is Catholicism. So it is not ideal. Not ideal. It can work, but it takes some compromising. Now, the nearer your value system, your beliefs, your doctrines are, then the easier it is for you to form a relationship and maintain that relationship. So people who are Catholics would do better getting married to Catholics. People who are Protestants will have a much greater success. The probability of their relationship succeeding is far greater and higher if they get married to other people who are Protestants. Now, the differences between maybe a Sabbath worshipper and a Sunday worshipper, again, are so marked and different because Sabbath believing Christians are very steep and have very strong convictions over the Sabbath and how the Sabbath should be kept, while Sunday worshippers may not put such emphasis or value on these kinds of doctrines. And again, that may cause a lot of conflict. So it would be in the interest of the parties involved to seek people who have similar convictions, similar views, similar doctrines as they have. Now, I'm not going to say that you're going to go to hell or it is a sin. It is just challenging. Is it in the Bible? Yes, there are instances and examples in the Bible where people got married to other people of different faith. For example, Moses' wife was an Ethiopian, and that caused a lot of consternation and conflict in his family between his brother and sister. You remember the story where they had words. Then there was Jacob, who got married to Rachel and Leah, and they were from idol worshipping family. Remember that Rachel stole the gods, the idols of her dad when Moses was returning to Egypt. And there were a couple of other cases, but it didn't always turn out hunky-dory. There's a case of Samson and Delilah, and there's a case where our good friend, the mighty wise guy Solomon, took on so many different wives, and they turned his heart away from God. The story is told there in Kings. So be very, very careful in getting involved with someone who have very different doctrinal beliefs to you. In this case, I won't say it's wrong, it is just highly incompatible. But it can work, but it's very challenging.